Mainly, it's I don't know. It's a sampling of things I've done in the past. Not everything, because there are drawings for wall paintings, that go back to 1969, or 70. But there is no wall painting. But there are proposals and drawings and plans for proposals for wall paintings that may or may not exist. Those wall paintings, I don't want to do them anymore. I've done so many, and they always are in a museum context, and so they're put up and then just torn down and thrown away. If somebody wants one, that would be somewhat permanent, I would do it again. I'd design one for whatever, but I guess with the wall paintings, I don't feel like I can learn anything from doing them, and I like to think that every day that I get up, I'm going to learn something, and so I don't want to serialize my work. I don't want to make it into a product rather than a conceptual kind of process or idea. So the wall paintings are so old, and in the beginning, I offered them for. You could get the drawing, there are some drawings in the show of those proposals. You could get the drawing and the painting for $1,000, but you had to execute the painting. And I offered that for $1,000 for 10 years, and nobody bought one. So I think everything has a life and a death. And I think the wall paintings they're dead, So I don't want to do them. But then there's the stacked paintings, that are basically, the original one was called 1,000 Pictures, and I made every canvas. I made every stretcher bar. I stretched every canvas. I painted every painting, and then I stacked them while they were wet. And the original one was called 1,000 Pictures, and there were 1,000, and it was just a straight wall like this. And these are kind of leftovers from a bigger project that was called 50/50, and it was 5,050 paintings. The first stack was 100, then 99, 98, all the way down to 1, and then the total, if you figure that out, it comes to 50/50, and. So they're proposals, drawing proposals for how these could be configured. And I think it's a gallery's idea that maybe somebody would want to put one of these together somehow. I don't know. Maybe an institution. It has to be someplace big enough to, I don't know. There's different ways this can be done. So we'll see. And then there's drawings for the neons, and then there's the neon projects. So that's what we're showing. And then the shooting gallery, which is, I don't know, you can see there's a Swiss flag and the American flag, and I think that's what Americans and Swiss people have in common. They love to shoot, and they love their guns, but the two manifest itself in a different way, like Swiss people don't think they can go to school and shoot people, and what's going on with guns is hard to understand, but it needs to be talked about. It's not going to go away on its own. So my fantasy is, it doesn't always work out. But my fantasy is this will turn into a painting. Basically what I'm trying to do is extend or make painting more exciting than just looking at some flat thing on the wall. That's not an experience. We've been looking at paintings for centuries, and we've been looking at contemporary and abstract painting all the same since 1945. It hasn't changed. The only thing that changes it is the technique in which it's made. That's not interesting at all to me. And I don't know how anybody can do that. The thing that's very important to me is, you know, and it's kind of manifests itself in the other room, and that says process progress, you know, and that's the thing. I'm interested in the process only because the process is an experience, and that's what's important, and that's what I hope that the viewer or whoever comes to the gallery, that they have an experience here, you know, rather than, you know, a little surprise, a kind of remnants of an activity, and they have to imagine what it was like if they weren't here, and so on and so forth. And I think that, you know, painting needs that. It needs it, you know. Otherwise, these abstract painters, in my view, they're just fabric designers. Some are better than others, but it's just fabric at this point. There's no concept behind it, you know, and it's non-objective. That's what they call it. Well, if it's non-objective, why bother? You know, that's my view. You know, I mean, I am wrong, but that needs to be examined, that painting has been the same since 1945. And in the beginning, you know, all these abstract expressionists who were really great, you know, they kind of moved the needle, no doubt, but it needs to be moved again.